Hi, I'm Mark Kenyon of the Garage Gurus. In today's tech tip, I want to talk about adding a key. In this case, it's a program key. Chrysler calls these a FOBIC to our 2015 Dodge Journey. Obviously, I have the original, and what we're wanting to do is just add another key. Like, say you want to add another key for another driver. The tool that we're going to use today is the Autel KM100. It's a nice little tool for programming keys, and it comes with this handheld piece you see right here. I also have the dongle inside of the car, and we'll just kind of walk through the different screens and all the things you need to do in order to get this key programmed to where it'll work with the vehicle. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we've installed the VCI dongle into the OBD2 port of our vehicle, and now we're gonna go and select Immobilizer on our little tool, and we need to get our vehicle information in. So let me select D for Dodge, and I'm just going to do the automatic selection. And it says if you have a learned key, which we do, turn the ignition on. So let me go ahead and turn the ignition on. All right, we got the ignition on. So let me go ahead and select OK. Now we have three choices here. We have Smart Key, Blade Key, and FOBIC. Our key for this generation of Chrysler product falls under Smart Key. So let me go ahead and select Smart Key. There's our Dodge Journey 2015 Smart Key, yes. It says turn the ignition off and turn the hazards on. So let me go ahead and turn off the ignition, and we'll go ahead and turn the hazards on. Okay, let me select OK. Now, this 4-digit password, or PIN, sometimes is what Chrysler will call it, is what we're going to need in order to program this new key. It might not be a bad idea to write this number down at this point. Most of the time, this tool will remember it. It'll automatically input it into the next screens when we go to program. But just in case something glitches or whatever, you'd want to have that number available. You can't program without it. All right. So let me hit OK. Now, I've got 4 different options here. I'm going to just go under Control Unit. And then, as we said before, that password, if it didn't show up before, or if I couldn't get it or whatever, I could actually read it here. But we've already read it, so we don't really need to do that. Another thing with the password also, if for some reason you can't find that information or you can't get it to come up, you will have to talk to a Chrysler dealer in order to get that 4-digit PIN, because like I said before, it is assigned to the vehicle. It's actually assigned to the radio frequency hub in the vehicle. So let me go ahead and select Immobilizer. And I've got different options here. Obviously, I can read DTCs. I can look at live data. A good thing to bring up here, and I hadn't talked about it until this point, was if you do have any DTCs with the Immobilizer system, that's going to have to be repaired before you can do any key learning. So let's go ahead and select key learning. And we'll select key learning again. And it says turn off the ignition, turn on the emergency flashers, okay, and place one smart key to be learnt, I think they meant learned, in the vehicle, other keys outside the vehicle. Currently we have 4 keys. So let me go ahead and get the vehicle set up. I'm going to take our fob right here, and I'm going to place it in the vehicle. And I will take our learned key out. Okay, and I'm just going to put it on the bench over here. And then we're going to hit yes. And it asks me, is that my password? And I'm going to say yes, it is. Obviously, 9873 is our number. And it's going to ask me again, are you sure you want to do that? And I'm going to tell it yes. Now it wants me to press the lock and unlock buttons. So let me go ahead and hit OK. And we'll just grab the fob here, and we can just press And you can see that we have learned the key. All right. It tells me our learning was successful. Number of keys is 5, which is true. We've used this vehicle for other demonstrations also. And at this point, it asked me if I want to learn another key. And that would be a situation where, say I did want to add 2 more keys to this vehicle, and I only had programmed the 1 so far, I could tell it yes, and it would just go in and basically walk through some of the steps again without having to put all the information in. But in our case, I'm going to say no, I don't want to. Okay. And at this point, we should have a learned key. All right, we've already tested our lock and unlock features on our remote fob here. So let's see if the auto start feature works also. So let me give it a quick double tap. All right, kind of summarize what we've done here. We've basically used our KM100 Autel tool to program this new key fob. Not to say this is the only tool out there that could do that. There's lots of different tools out, just happen to be the one we have here in the shop. And I kind of like using it. It's lightweight, it's handy, and does a good job. I have not run into anything yet that we couldn't program keys for. I'm Mark Kenyon with Garage Gurus. For more information, check out our website, garagegurus.tech. Thanks for watching.